Welcome to Destination Detour. I'm your host, J.M. Romig, and with me is your co-host,
Dean Hayes, and today we are getting sidetracked. Alright, so on Yahoo Answers, this was posted. Is this incest? Okay, I don't know if this is actually incest, since it wasn't something actually sexual in the technical sense, but here it goes. When I was little, my mom used to put a butt plug in me, which she called a poop plug, and I'd wear it all the time.
oh,
I was told only to take it out to poop and wipe my ass, then put it back in. I was really young, so I thought this was something that everybody did. But one time at school, I dropped it when I flushed the toilet, and it ended up getting flushed. So when I went back to class, I told my teacher that my poop plug got flushed down the toilet. She had no idea what I was talking about, and she sent me to the school nurse. Well, after trying to explain what a poop plug was for 15 minutes, the school calls the police. The police ask me all these questions, and at first I'm scared because I think I'm in trouble for losing my poop plug.
I think I actually read this on Reddit a while back, but continue.
Turns out my mom has schizophrenia and was making me wear this... I'm not sure what this word is, it's bleeped out. So Satan couldn't stick his cock in my pooper and make me gay.
Okay.
You gotta love Yahoo Answers.
Is it incest? I don't think so, but it's definitely fucked up.
It does not, even though it's inherently, we view butt plugs as a sexual toy and, things of that nature, this doesn't seem to have any sexual intent at any point.
It's just his mom was really fucking crazy. Oh my god.
If anything, she's trying to prevent the demonic sexuality,
Oh my god. So Satan wouldn't stick his dick in his pooper. Oh.
And
Poor
make
dude,
him gay.
man. Poor fucking dude.
Can you imagine that, though, going up to the teacher and like, I flushed my poop plug.
Oh my
And then
god.
you find out nobody else knows what's going on.
Alright, what's some weird thing you assumed as a kid that you later learned in real life wasn't exactly the same as you imagined it?
That people in general were good.
Oh, come on. Pick something
No,
like
seriously.
really
When I was
weird.
younger, when I was younger, I assumed people were generally good, and like Power Rangers and shows like that show everybody like as good people, and then there's this evil as an external force that they fight against from corrupting the world. And I got older and realized, wow, the world is shit. The good people are the external force that you see, and it's kind of like, whoa, and then the world fights against them to prevent the corruption of the evil. If you want something, that's actually true. As a young child, that's absolutely true. But if you want something else, then, honest to God, it really fucked me up when I was in my young teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
I was raised in a particular environment and whatnot, and I thought that when a guy and a girl were interested in each other, they'd start dating. And they would basically court. And dating meant, you'd meet up for lunch or dinner, maybe go to movies, hang out a bit, and then, the first kiss would happen, like, after a few days.
Yeah, that's how...
Now, this was my understanding of how the world worked. I did not know that, in reality, in the teenage years, dating just meant this is who you're fucking today.
That's not really what it means, though. Even what you're talking about, that's not...
That's the high school environment I grew up in.
Dating is when two people are together. Like, if you're just seeing somebody, you're casually going out. Casual dating is a different thing than the context of dating.
We're talking about things that you thought versus reality. I know one girl who I had an interest in but that did not date, who told me that she would fuck anyone who could fit in her pants with her while she was wearing them.
So that's
because she had
really
a particular
fucked
type.
up person. Not everyone's
I
like
have dated girls. I have dated 4 girls who they literally classified as boyfriend and girlfriend, and those dating relationships lasted. The longest one of those 4 lasted for 7 days.
That's high school, man.
During which case, there's plenty of sexual antics, but then someone else came around and it was like, hey, let's hook up. And guys had the same perspective,
All right, so
dating is a sexual relationship in high school.
You're old man ranting right now is what you're doing. You're like, these
I'm old
kids
man
these
ranting.
days, and they're dating, meaning the casual sex and having how did
Oh yes.
back in my day when I didn't.
You know me now. I have absolutely no qualms with people who want to have just purely sexual relationships, because in my opinion, sex is like getting together with friends to play Xbox.
Oh man. Anyway.
Well, yeah, so yeah. But I was raised in an old-fashioned household, so I was old man ranting. I'll grant you that. It just surprised me.
Because there's a lot of silly things you assume when you're a kid, Like, I know a lot of kids, thought, when they were little that, sex was a guy peeing inside a girl. Because they didn't understand the concept of ejaculation. That's what I meant. Like, little weird shit that turned out not exactly to be true.
I never had anything like that.
I had something.
I mean, when I was 6 years old, I once grilled a man who was dressed up as Santa and came over the house as a surprise. It was a friend of my grandfather's.
Mm-hmm.
He came over the house with a couple of toys and shit and was like, hey, kids, it's Christmas time. I'm Santa. And, I mean, he was dressed apart and everything, but I'm 6 years old, and I sat him down on the couch and I said, you're not Santa. He's like, why do you think that? Because you're wearing MFG work gloves. Those aren't Santa gloves. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, where's your reindeer? They're outside. Like, no, they're not. We would have heard them on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And I grilled him for 20 minutes as 6 years old, explaining the science, as I understood by 6-year-old, why he's not Santa. So I never had those little things I thought this is how the world worked. No.
You thought Santa existed, though.
Did you think sex was a guy peeing in a girl?
No, I never thought that. That's something that, a lot of people say, though, when asked this kind of question, is they say that, I thought that, whatever. But, during, sex ed or whatever, that's one of the first things people ask is, a lot of people were like, can you accidentally pee inside them? Is, one of the biggest fucking questions that nobody likes to fucking ask. And
that sounds really weird.
yeah, you ever taken a sex ed class? It's a lot of awkward little kids, man. A lot of awkward.
No, wait. When my brother was 8, he asked my mom, where do babies come from? So she Googled it, pulled up a video of somebody having a kid, and explained to him, this is the biological function.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So my puberty talk was literally a bunch of textbook pages about nocturnal emission and erections and shit printed out with graphs and stuff that was handed to me. It was here's some research and study material.
Study up on your
exactly.
Teams. This is what's happening to you.
I didn't get a birds and bees speech.
I don't think I ever got a birds and bees speech, and that metaphor never made sense to me. Who is the bird and who is the bee? I think the girl's the bird, the guy's the bee because the stinger is the dick, right? But is sex just stinging a bird?
But don't.
In that metaphor,
don't the birds eat the bee?
I don't know. It depends on the bird.
So women will devour you, and if you stick your dick in them, you'll die?
Why do you always come back to that kind of shit?
What? If a bee stings someone, they're going to die.
Shit, but this is we always come back to this kind of shit. It always turns into that.
I'm just going with a metaphor.
That's not at all what I was saying. Birds don't necessarily eat bees. Well, certain kinds of birds, maybe hummingbirds, accidentally eat bees when they're eating for grubs and shit. I don't know, but I don't think it's a typical. They go for caterpillars and shit. Bees are moving targets.
I don't know the avian eating habits either, so.
So why would you assume?
We'll stay away from that topic.
Why would you assume and then make the metaphor about some
I don't know,
sexist
because
shit?
It's not sexist. If birds eat bees, then hey, that's that.
Okay.
I don't get how the metaphor fits in any other way regarding sex.
I don't know.
If the sting is the penis, a bee stings something, typically they die.
Have you ever heard of the subreddit Today I Fucked Up?
Yes, when you told me about 10 minutes ago.
Alright, well, now I'm saying it for the video. You
Okay.
should say no.
And I answered for the video. Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to lie to our audience. Okay, I'm sorry. We can edit that.
No. No,
No,
keep
I've
it.
never heard of it, Josh.
Oh, fuck. Alright, well, for the audience, but today I fucked up. The subreddit on Reddit where people post like these stories about something that happened to them where they monumentally fucked up. Like, it's usually some shit like, oh, tried to fuck a stapler, and, you know, today I fucked up. Alright, so, like, the titles pretty much say it all. Today I fucked up by, and then usually, like, a whole thing. Today I fucked up by claiming I had sex with a horse. I was driving home, this is by user Tufumang. I was driving home while on the phone, it's legal here, with Death Sphere phone company, alright? And I had been on the hold with them for 30 minutes. So I thought I was gonna get home and not have to speak with them in the car. I pulled up behind another car at a red light and started reading out loud their bumper stickers while the hold music continued. My husband, here's what some of the things said. I like my husband, but I love horses. I love horses. If you don't love a horse, then you don't love me, etc. And then it followed the next logical statement, not on her stickers, but in my mind, and I profoundly proclaimed, I fucked my horse! And then I registered the whole music stopped, and the beginning of the sentence that they heard was, I fucked my horse! And a soft feminine voice on the other end was, sir? Sir, how can I help you today?
I'm looking for breeding information. Can you help me with that?
Like, what the fuck? Fuck my horse.
I want to point out, though, I'm talking on my cell phone with the Death Sphere service. Now, in an actual literary work, that would be foreshadowing. That's what that would be called.
I think he was just like, he didn't want to use the actual name of the company that he was calling. So he said Death Sphere instead.
Probably, but that doesn't change what was actually written versus, my statement. So, yeah. You're detracting from it, Josh.
I'm just reading what they wrote.
Did you read that news story, though? About the Burger King guy?
No, what do you mean?
Okay. Well, a lot of people probably heard this already, but there was a guy standing in Burger King, and there was this really obnoxious child behind him whining that he wanted a pie. He wanted an apple pie, and the mother was, not dealing with it. So the guy got really irritated. But, I mean, what are you going to do? That happens to all of us. We can't turn around and smack the kid. We can't yell at him. We can't yell at the mother. We can't smack the mother and say, hey, be a mother.
Yeah.
So the kid was just being obnoxious. Yep, his reaction, he went up to the counter, he bought his food, and he bought all of the apple pies they had in the store.
Oh.
Which totaled to 23. He walks outside and he starts hearing the mother screaming at the clerk when he's like, I'm sorry, we just sold out of pies. He turns around and look, and he sees the counter guy pointing at him. And the mother sends him a death glare. So he slowly takes out an apple pie and starts slowly eating it. She gets pissed and tries to run towards him, but she can't get past the other people in line quickly enough. So he says that he slowly turns and starts walking away casually.
Wow. What a dick.
And the child had this look on his face too of perplexed and was just crushed that there was no more apple pies. And I seriously laughed my ass off when I read this. I actually applauded him in real life.
Oh,
and
man.
if I could, I would bake that man a cookie and send it to him.
You bake him a cookie? Why not an apple pie?
Because he has enough. He's probably tired of it.
Oh, what the fuck? God, that guy's kind of a dick. Hilarious. Kind of a dick.
Well, there's another guy who apparently whenever he sees a kid acting like that, what he does is, because parents will tend to turn away and kind of not necessarily ignore but block out the whining and complaining.
Yeah.
So what he'll do is he'll come up to them and start looking at toys on the shelf, acting casually, and bend over like he's bending over to pick something up, and then fart in the kid's face. This is how he deals with kids who are obnoxious. Well, apparently this kid turned around in mid-whine with his mouth wide open, and he said that he ripped so bad. He had Taco Bell the night before. He said he ripped so bad that he thought he actually shit himself. And it hit the kid full in the face, mouth open. And he just sat there in horror for a moment before he started crying.
That's horrible.
And he was like, oh, shit. He walked away, and the mother found out, eventually came back up to him, and he was like, did you just fart in my son's face? And he was basically like, well, yeah, but he was being an obnoxious little shit. And I don't want to hear it.
Did he
You
really
don't want
say
to hear
that?
it. Something to that effect. He basically just he's obnoxious. No one wants to hear that. You don't want to hear that. And is he still begging for shit? And mother, I forget exactly what he said, but by the end of it, the mother just kind of stared at him for a moment and said, don't do it again, and walked away without really pressing it any further.
Yeah, I don't think that happened.
This was a guy's blog. He wrote about that, and think about it. Out of all the people we know people who would do this.
Yeah, but like saying to the mother that like, oh, he was being obnoxious and blah blah blah. No, probably what happened is he did that. Did you fart in my son's face? And the woman, when the woman asked him that, he was like, nope, wrong guy. Walked off, That's probably what happened. And then he went home and he was like, oh yeah, this would be a funny story. Oh, well, I don't want to tell her I just walked off. Okay, I fucking was like, your kid's a fucking brat, man. Like that's what happened. He got home and got all self-righteous on his blog. And
I did not witness the face force part.
The face force part. Oh shit.
Yes, the force is strong with this one.
Oh, I don't even want to read that one. Today I fucked up while trying to have sex after eating spicy food. Nope, don't want to know.
Today I fucked up by trying an Alaskan pipeline.
Yeah, that's that kind of shit. Like, today I fucked up by getting head at a city park. Oh, that's too long. I ain't gonna read it.
By the way, anyone curious? Just Google Alaskan pipeline.
Don't do that. That is a bad idea. Never do that. Oh, this is disgusting.
Alright, so, not wanting to actually read the whole news article, Mao Sugiyama is a 22-year-old Japanese asexual.
Okay.
And he had his genitalia removed a couple of weeks after his 22nd birthday. Alright?
Mm-hmm.
Now, professionally, he is a chef. Aside from that, he is also an artist. Well, yeah. So what's he going to do with leftover twig and berries? He decided to put them up. Yep. He put up an advertisement on Twitter. And for 100,000 yen, he would cook them up and sell them to people. And each of the guests that came, which there was 6 of them, well, 6 people could be fed, apparently. And there were 70 guests that attended the event total. Each of the people who paid for the actual stuff paid 250 American dollars for the plate of the cooked up testicles and penis.
Okay.
So they like the article finishes with, "We know what you're thinking. What did it taste like?" Well, guests said that it was very rubbery and didn't really taste like anything when commenting on the cooked genitalia.
I wasn't.
So people pay $250 to eat dick.
Yep. Wow.
I mean, if you're gonna have the shit chopped off, that's a way to do it, you know?
Oh, that's a weird sort of cannibalism. Wow. Oh, I don't know, man. I guess, fuck.
I'm curious as to what people think. Like,
I'm curious as to how he pees now.
well, you know, there's the urethra, the tract.
Yeah.
That hole is still there. It's just flat.
All right, so he just has like a little hole there, and the rest is like
Pretty
a Ken
much.
doll.
Yeah. So they were removed the external bits, and they would have left the urinary tract intact.
Okay then. Well, good for him, I guess.
That sounds very uncomfortable. Because I'm picturing sitting at an extremely odd angle to pee.
Yeah, maybe. No, not really, because it would just all go down. It's like how women pee. You just sit.
Hmm.
It'd make riding a bike more comfortable. You would never have to worry about like really.
There's a very uncomfortable pause there. Oh, did the audience go into a little mental segue with us? Like, are they picturing riding a bike without genitalia?
I hope so. I hope you went on that journey with us.
You hope the audience is thinking about a world without genitalia.
Oh, fuck. Oh, man.
Well, it can't. Nobody has genitalia. So, that ends this episode, and we're going to get back on track.